And good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you live to Chestertown, Maryland, on the campus of Washington College Kibler Field at Roy Curry Jr. Stadium, the site of our Maryland Class 2A State Field Hockey Championship game this afternoon between the Poolesville Falcons and the Glenelg High School Gladiators. And hello, everyone. Welcome to Washington College. Connor Flew here with you live alongside my broadcasting partner, Meredith Katona. And Meredith, we have a team here in Glenelg, state champions the last 2 years, going for a three-peat. Unprecedented three-peat. We'll see if they can get it here this afternoon, coming in with a 16-1 record against Poolesville, 14-1 on the season. And Meredith, we were talking about it a little bit in the pregame. These are two teams that aren't afraid to light up the scoreboard.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, we can see in their statistics and the amount of goals they've scored and everything. I mean, Glenelg has had a game where they've scored 11, 10, 11, 12, even 14 goals in a game. And Poolesville, I mean, right behind them, they've had games where they've scored 8, 9, 10 goals. So, I mean, this could be a potentially very high-scoring game. So, a lot of action in the offense, hopefully, in this game.
Well, you look at Poolesville, in 15 games they've played this year, they've scored 79 goals. That's a very high. That's over 5 goals a game right there. And then you look on the side of Glenelg, the two-time defending state champions, in 17 games, 110 goals in 17 games. That's simply unheard of for any field hockey team on any level, let alone a high school level.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's nearly unprecedented. I mean, 79 goals is outstanding, but 110, that's nearly unheard of. But when you're getting, I guess, 10, 11, 12, 14 goals a game, I mean, it all adds up eventually. So, I mean, both of these teams, their offense are definitely both very strong. So this should be a very good outing for both of these teams today.
And this is a Poolesville team that's looking for their first state championship since 2002, so a 10-year drought for the Falcons. But meanwhile, we mentioned Glenelg, the Gladiators, state champions in Class 2A the last 2 years, going for that unprecedented three-peat here in Chestertown this afternoon. As we are just about set for the opening hit of today's game, and there it is, and we are underway in the Class 2A Maryland State Field Hockey Championship this afternoon. As the first possession of the game goes to Glenelg, as they're moving from right to left in this first half, as the Gladiators will be wearing the red jerseys for the visitors, while the home squad today will be Poolesville in the white, black, and slightly gold uniforms. And right away, Glenelg sends that out of bounds, so it'll be Poolesville possession, as they'll attempt to bring this one down the near side, where Glenelg will take it right back. They'll dribble down the near side, but they'll send it right out of bounds. So again, Poolesville will have the first possession. And Meredith, we've talked about this a little bit as well. The two head coaches with a combined 49 years of coaching experience at their very own respective schools. Regina Grubb for Poolesville, been there for 13 years. And then on Glenelg's side, Ginger Kincaid, a head coach at the school for 36 years. It's something that you just don't see a whole lot of. And again, two very good head coaches been guiding their squads all year, each team just one loss coming in. What does it say when you have a head coach who you know is going to be stable and is going to be there for that long? What kind of, I guess, confidence can that inspire into a team like this?
Well, I mean, having a very stable head coach is definitely a key part to any successful team, I think, because the players they know that they can rely on their coach to be there. They know that they have a lot of faith in their coach. They know that their coach isn't going to, they're going to keep them level, and they're going to keep them in things, and they're going to know their limits after a certain point. I mean, 13 and 36 years, that's a very long time to get to know a vast group of girls. So, I mean, that's definitely an awesome thing to have.
We mentioned first off Regina Grubb for Poolesville in her 13 years, 146 wins, just 36 losses and 3 ties, so a very good record. And then on the Glenelg side, Ginger Kincaid, 36 years as the head coach, 365 wins as a high school field hockey head coach at one school against just 145 losses and 27 ties in her 36-year reign at the helm of the Gladiator squad. Now we look at the paths these two teams had to get here. Glenelg was the number 4 seed coming out of the East. They defeated the number 1 seed from the Southeastern to get to the championship game, while Poolesville, again coming in now 14-1, they were the 2 seed. They were the higher-ranked team in their matchup against Century in the semifinals, and they won that one over Century. So Glenelg pulled the upset over Easton to get here.
Oh, it looks like there could be a breakaway here.
Glenelg's got a chance here on a breakaway as they bring it in real quick, and a save made at point-blank range by the Poolesville keeper. A very good job there as she was able to boot that one out to the far side for Poolesville, the goalkeeper there, Madison Lamanna. As again, Glenelg there, you called it. I was busy looking at my stat sheet, looking down, looked back up, and saw that the Gladiators had the breakaway there, trying to get something going quickly on offense. We mentioned how much of an offensive firepower-heavy team they are, and they just about had the chance there on a simple one-on-one breakaway, but the keeper, Lamanna, does a great job there for Poolesville, keeping this game scoreless.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that breakaway, that could have been trouble for Poolesville right here. I mean, we're only a few minutes into the game, and that could have definitely set the tone very early on in this game. So it was a great job by Lamanna for Poolesville.
So Poolesville with possession now on offense, heading from left to right again in this first half. They have possession now as they try to send up the near side, but it's going to come too far as it heads for the goal line, gets out of bounds. No one from Glenelg touches it, so it will be Gladiators' ball as they'll try to clear it out of their own defensive end. As I mentioned, the Gladiators, state champions the last 2 seasons in the Maryland Class 2A bracket. As just a season ago, they won their championship game by the score of 3-0. The year before that, they won by the score of 2-1. So Glenelg, no stranger to these title games. As the Gladiators have it here, bringing it down the near-hand side. Along the goal line, this one backhanded towards the middle, and the defense from Poolesville collapses in front and keeps it away from their goalkeeper momentarily before the ball heads out of bounds along the goal line. It'll be a long hit from the near side for Glenelg. And so far here, the Gladiators doing a lot of the offensive controlling, it seems like, in the game's first 5 minutes. They've had most of the possessions. They've had a couple quick chances. They had the breakaway chance. But so far, the defense from Poolesville being tested here early.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's a great thing to have established in here early, the defense for both for Poolesville. Glenelg also, I mean, they're establishing their offense. So both teams are definitely establishing something here in these first few minutes of this first half. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
And again, the 2 teams here, we talk about them, Poolesville and Glenelg, very respected head coaches. And there's 2 teams that are not new to the state championship scene either, as this is Glenelg's 14th appearance in the Maryland State Tournament. For Poolesville, it's their 12th. So both teams have been here before. A lot of these same players have been here before as well, as both teams were in the tournament a season ago. Again, we mentioned Glenelg, the 2-time defending state champions. As this ball is in the defensive zone, will be played ahead by the Falcons of Poolesville as they play this one back to the top of their defensive box, where it's taken back here now by Glenelg. Sent deeper back into the zone. A little one-timer shot here goes wide and out of bounds. It'll be, I believe, Poolesville possession. Actually, they may have caught a foul beforehand. Not sure what the case is. Either way, it'll be Poolesville ball here, back in their own defensive end.
Yeah.
You look at some of the offensive weapons that both of these teams have, and the goal numbers are just astounding. Glenelg, for example, has 4 players that are in double digits in both goals and assists with 16 goals apiece. Danielle Baker, 16 goals and 12 assists. Then you have Morgan Philly has 17 goals, 11 assists, and Megan Taylor, 20 goals and 19 assists, which, that right there to me is just staggering. The one player has not so much necessarily as number of assists as they do goals, but the fact that the number is so high as it is. It's not that often you see somebody with 20 goals and 19 assists in a single season.
Yeah, very, very rare. I mean, and that's just a testament, I think, to this this team of Glenelg. They're a very high-scoring team, as we've stated before in the beginning of the broadcast. So, I mean, it's definitely not an easy thing. It won't be easy for either of these teams, too. I think necessarily.
As Poolesville with a chance here in front, a rebound, and they score. And we were just sitting here talking about Glenelg, but it's Poolesville who gets the game's first early tally, as Glenelg was trying to clear it out of the zone there, but Poolesville was able to corral a loose ball in front and sneak it past the Glenelg goalkeeper, Amanda Hoyt. And still fairly early here, just 6.5 minutes into action this afternoon. It's Poolesville who takes the game's early lead. It's a 1-0 lead for the Falcons over the Gladiators.
Yeah, I think this is a great start for Poolesville, because we've seen Glenelg really on the offense and really pushing for the offense, but we see Poolesville, who just came up and just scored a goal. So I mean, this should be a very interesting game due to this, Poolesville scoring the first goal as opposed to Glenelg.
So the goal for Poolesville right now being credited to Sarah Onderko. The assist credited to Allie Green for Onderko for Glenelg. That'll be her 10th goal of the season, and she becomes the third player, for Poolesville, I should say. She becomes the third player for Poolesville to hit the double-digit goal mark this season. She now has 10, as she joins her teammates Kelsey Carnahan with 15 and Allie Green with 25 on the season so far this year for the Falcons. As again, it's Poolesville who takes the game's initial 1-0 lead here, just 6.5 minutes into action this afternoon. So a big goal there by the Falcons as they strike first here. In our previous game of the afternoon, for those of you who weren't with us, the Class 1A final, Falston defeated Chrisfield 2-0. It took all the way to the second half for either one of those teams to find the scoreboard before Falston would eventually wind up winning that game 2-0. Here in the first 6.5 minutes, we talked about the offensive threats in the pregame right before this game started, and we see it early, just 6.5 minutes in, we have our first goal of the day.
Yeah, I think that's something you're probably going to see with these teams. I mean, they're both very high-scoring teams, so I mean, it was probably one of these teams is going to score at some point early on in this game. I mean, there was just no way that it wouldn't happen. There's just their high numbers of goals and everything just combined together. I think that one of them had to score early on in this game.
And that's the 80th goal of the season that Poolesville scored. So again, they're a very high-scoring team as well. 80 goals now in 16 games so far this season. As the Falcons are no stranger to offense, just like Glenelg. As the Falcons have the ball again here, after a foul against the Gladiators, they'll be trying to clear it out of their own defensive zone, and they will do so. As they get it back out across midfield, now we have another foul called against Glenelg. So again, it will be Poolesville possession. So again, Sarah Onderico, the junior, the goal for the Gladiators, with the assist going to the senior Allie Green to put Poolesville ahead of Glenelg here 1-0, just 6.5 minutes into action here this afternoon. But Glenelg takes the ball back here. They'll bring it inside of their own offensive box. Ball being dribbled down the near side on the stick of Stephanie Asher. Team's leading goal scorer, has 23 on the season. This one played towards the center, and then on the far-hand side goes out of bounds off of the Gladiators. It will be Falcons' possession as the referees rule that nobody from Poolesville had the ball. So again, we're seeing here Glenelg has had the majority of the possession here in the first 9 minutes, but not a whole lot of offensive chances. Poolesville, really the only offensive chance they had was the one that they just scored on a few minutes ago. So it's not so much the number of chances as it is the quality chances. We say that in sports a lot, and Poolesville proved it here early on. But Glenelg on the move here as they'll bring this one back towards the center, but it's cut off by the defense of the Falcons. And then we get a whistle and a foul, and Glenelg gives it back to Poolesville again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just Poolesville has had they've been really good defensively, I think, so far during this game, and and when they do get the ball, when they do send the ball out of the circle and up the field, they really do, I think, make a really great effort to try and get it closer to the goal and try to get it closer into the circle. So I think they're really trying to take advantage of the things that they do have, and as we saw, the quality definitely over surpassed the quantity. I mean, because the one thing that they had, they scored a goal, like Connor said. So
Exactly, and Glenelg with the ball here, but they turn it back over out of bounds. But now Poolesville turns it over. As Glenelg comes back with it, they'll bring it down the near side. A nice play ahead here off the stick of Megan Taylor. As Taylor throws one towards the center, gets past the Poolesville defender, loose along the goal line on the near side. But Poolesville eventually tracks it down as it'll come, I believe, out of bounds anyhow along the goal line. So the ball goes back to Poolesville as Glenelg loses it. So Poolesville winds up, and they'll just send this one all the way down the field on the near side where it eventually trickles out of bounds. It will be Gladiators' ball. Just over 10 minutes gone by here, first half. A 1-0 Poolesville lead here over Glenelg. Again, the two-time defending state champions find themselves in the early hole. Glenelg again defeated Easton to get here, while Poolesville defeated Century in order to get to this Class 2A state championship game this afternoon. As this one down the near side, loose again, battled for by a couple of different players, and eventually is won by Glenelg as a foul call against Poolesville gives the ball back to the Gladiators. Now it'll go out of bounds again along the near side, and the ball will go off of Poolesville and back to Glenelg. As the Gladiators will work it back in, as Emily Russo restarts the activity. But then she loses it right away as Poolesville takes it. Then it's sent out of bounds off of Russo, which will give the ball back to Poolesville as they'll restart from the near side, but a little bit of a weak restart as Glenelg takes it right back as it's stolen by Asher. Asher dribbles this one down the near side and draws a double team. She'll head it now towards the corner. A nice backhander towards the center. Glenelg has it. Nice pass in front here. It's loose. Taken in front. And a rebound. A shot. They score! Beautiful play there in front by Glenelg as they position it to the center. Get the clear shot opportunity from directly in front of the cage. And it's a 1-1 game with still 18 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the first half. And Mary, that was just a beautiful play here on the near side. A couple of defenders got beat, and Glenelg was able to capitalize.
yeah, definitely. I mean, and like we said earlier, these are both very high-scoring teams. We're going to keep hitting on this during the game because it needs to be said. Both of these teams are very high-scoring teams, and we're probably gonna see a lot of back and forth, goal and goal and goal and goal. And I think it's just going to depend on who has the ball last. I think in this game, who's is the one that's going to win. So I mean, it really is it's really down to these back and forth plays, I think, of the goals and coming back and coming back.
And again, that was just a beautiful play on the near side. It was Taylor who beat two defenders, then was able to backhand it towards the middle. No one from Poolesville, I guess, was ready for the pass. It came right in front where Ivy Meissner got a piece of it, then sent it into the back of the cage. Nothing that the goalkeeper for Poolesville could do about it, as Meissner, the senior, gets credit for the goal. Megan Taylor gets credit for her 20th assist of the season, as she now has both 20 goals and 20 assists on the year. We talked about her a little bit earlier, and it's a 1-1 game with still 17 and a half minutes to go in the first half, and we're off and running here in Chestertown, as Poolesville's got this one now, but they turn it right back over as Glenelg takes it again. A nice ball up ahead here as the Gladiators have numbers. Inside the offensive zone they come. Player on the far side, one breaking down the middle as well, and it comes towards the center. And they're going to have a foul call on Poolesville. We'll give the ball to Glenelg, I believe, with our game's first corner opportunity.
Yeah, this is the first corner opportunity of the game, and it's funny that both of these teams have gotten goals, and there has not been a corner yet. You don't usually see that. That's very rare. So I mean, this is just a credit to both of these two teams' offensive ends.
Again, we keep hitting on the offensive firepower that both of these teams have, and it's evident here early on, as we have 2 goals on the board. It took us, about the first 45 minutes of the first game this afternoon to see 2 goals. We've seen it already here in the first 14 minutes.
Yeah.
As Glenelg with a shot here, it's deflected in front, a rebound chance, and a save made in front, a beautiful save by the Poolesville keeper, Lamanna, as that was a beautiful rebound opportunity on the near side for Glenelg with all sorts of space, but Lamanna stands tall between the pipes and knocks that shot away to keep this game tied at 1. Now Glenelg trying to counter again as they'll bring it back to the near side. Oh, nice ball played up here. A pass to the center is deflected out of bounds, but it's deflected out by the Poolesville defender. That was Maddie Anderson. But I believe first we had another penalty corner call, so we'll have another corner here for Glenelg.
Yeah, the second corner this is the second corner that Glenelg has gotten all in like the span of, I think, maybe 2 minutes, maybe even less than that. I'm not sure.
Not even that much.
Maybe not even that much, yeah. So, I mean, this is just a testament to their offense again.
And
Going to keep hitting, and that's a...
Well, that was a very high shot there, and...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know if that one went over top the crossbar or if it went wide or what. Kind of hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell at this angle.
That sun ducked right behind that one cloud at the last second kind of angle in my view. I couldn't quite see whether it went high or wide.
Either,
but the way the crowd reacted, you kind of heard the crowd go, whoa, real quick. So
yeah, it may have been right over the goal. I mean, that was a very dangerous shot against Poolesville. I mean, that really, if that was any lower, I mean, there's a good chance that might have gone into the goal. But we've seen a lot of these high balls from Glenelg, these high passes. I mean, even just like the passes from the even just like the midfield, trying to move the ball up the field. I mean, it's perfectly legal in field hockey. I think they legalized it last year, that rule that the ball can go like that as long as it's to open space. So
that's what I was just going to ask you. You played field hockey in high school as a team. Did you try to utilize that, try to play high balls to your advantage, or was it just one of those things where it just kind of rolled along as it came?
I mean, there's certain players that could do it. I mean, there's certain players that are very good at it. It's not something that usually a lot of people do. It's usually if you usually work on it, because it's a very difficult thing to do, to send the ball that high and to make it go far. It's very difficult. So, I mean, it's a credit. It's definitely a skill, and if you have that skill, it's definitely a very useful skill to have.
As Glenelg takes the ball away from Poolesville, now they'll bring it back down the near side. Coming inside the offensive zone with Stephanie Asher, again, team's leading goal scorer this season, as Asher still has it here. And then Asher is called for pushing off on the Poolesville defender. Didn't see much of a push, but the ball is going to go back to the Falcons anyhow from the call from the referee. So the Falcons will try to clear it out of their own defensive end.
Yep, and it looks like a little bit of a chase right here. But it looks like Glenelg is going to get it back right here. It's a lot. It seems to be a lot of back and forth, and then there's like randomly, like sporadically, oh, they're in the circle, and look, they got a goal. That's kind of the way it seems to go. It's been going this game. So
field hockey just seems like one of those chess matches. You try to send it back and forth and look for the lucky bounces every now and then. As Glenelg has the ball here, they bring it up the field. A little bit of a contact there. No call from the referees. This one passed out towards the middle, deflected off a couple of Poolesville defenders' sticks. Ball comes out to the far side. Eventually is tracked down by the Gladiators of Glenelg, as they'll have this one here. But now Poolesville takes it away. They'll bring it up the far side, trying to get a counter-offensive attack going, but they didn't have enough players, as Glenelg takes the ball back anyhow. They send it down the far side. Nice play to keep it in bounds, and they'll bring it now further down the zone. Ball comes along the goal line and goes out of bounds. Actually might have been a push call against the Poolesville defender first. Either way, it's Glenelg ball from just outside of the circle on the far side. Now this one inside the circle. One-timer shot taken and went wide, but it looked like there was a foul call of some sort beforehand on the Gladiators.
You didn't really see a foul, but, I mean, referee obviously has a better angle and a better view of the field than we do.
Yeah,
so
the referee's about 5 feet away from the play.
Right.
We're a little bit higher up in the skybox
yeah,
here.
it's a little more difficult to see that. So
as Glenelg has the ball back and they're in defensive end, they'll try to clear it out here across midfield. And they won't do so as a foul's called. Poolesville now quickly in the restart. Oh, nice play here by the Falcons. They keep it alive. Look out, Glenelg player goes to the turf and gets called for the foul.
Yeah, we saw earlier, we saw a bunch of players going to the ground in the 1A championship game. You know, it's interesting that it's happened once already here. So, I mean.
Sorry to cut you off, but this ball comes inside the circle. Thought there was going to be a scoring play there, but there's not as it goes out of bounds on the goal line, and the ball now goes back to Glenelg on defense. As the Gladiators will clear out of their own end, actually knocked down in front by a Poolesville defender first. This one's sent towards the middle inside the box, and this one comes further into the zone, but it comes right to a Glenelg defender, and they'll clear out the zone and let it go out of bounds. Smart play made there by Lutz, the defender, as she just kind of screened the Poolesville offensive player, didn't allow her to get the ball first, just lets it go out of bounds, and that leads to possession for the Gladiators. That's a play you see a lot in field hockey, too. It seems like the defender will kind of shield off the offensive player to keep them from getting possession.
Yeah, definitely, especially if the ball is going out of bounds, because you don't want, obviously you don't want the other team to get the ball back, but, you know, you also don't want to touch it, because if it goes out of bounds and it's coming out, it's a lot easier to get a play started for your team. So
as Glenelg was able to clear the zone here, get in their own offensive end. Oh, this one loose in front, sent towards the post on the near side and kicked away by the Poolesville keeper, Lamanna. And this one now free, comes out of bounds on the near side. I believe went off of the Falcons. Should be Glenelg ball. As they'll restart the action, send this one further down into the corner where it's deflected. And now heading for the goal line, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say last touched by the Gladiators, so the ball goes back to the Falcons of Poolesville.
And we've seen a lot of shots for Glenelg on Poolesville during this game so far. I mean, it's definitely, you can definitely see that Glenelg is their offense is really trying to put a lot of pressure on right now against Poolesville. So, I mean, both teams again, they only each have one goal each, but you know, it's definitely a constant pressure from Glenelg.
Well, you know, Poolesville only has one shot, but the one shot they had, you know, I found the back of the cage. So that's 1 for 1, 100% is a pretty good percentage.
It definitely is.
I think if you ask Regina Grubb, the head coach of Poolesville, they'll take the quality of shots like that much more over a quantity of shots that Glenelg is getting so far. Most coaches really would take that 9 times out of 10. As this one down the near side is controlled by the Gladiators. This is Megan Taylor, who had an assist on the first goal. She'll cross this one towards the center, plays it back to herself. She got a teammate wide open, and a shot to score! Another beautiful play made there by Megan Taylor, as she did pretty much the same thing she did for the first goal. Dribbled it in across the goal line, then crossed it over towards the middle. One of her teammates was there to put home the rebound, and it's a 2-1 Glenelg lead with 9:47 to go in the first half.
Yeah, you know, and if it's something worked the first time, you're going to probably keep trying to do it again until, you know, it's stopped, because if it's working, why would you stop doing it, you know? And that's a great little play right there, right, to get it into the circle and to, you know, it goes back and forth a little bit and then it goes in. I mean, that's a really nice play for that, and it's a really nice offensive structure for Glenelg. It looks like they're going to take it right back here and go right back into the circle again.
Again here, and a quick shot here is kicked away by the Poolesville keeper, Lamanna. As again, Glenelg just trying to pour it on here. Again, the 2-1 lead now. The goal officially credited to Danielle Baker. For Baker, that'll be her 17th of the season. And Taylor again gets credit for her second assist. Now 21 assists on the season. Oh, what a chance here again for Glenelg on a shot on the near side post. Goes just wide of Lamanna and out of bounds, as that one was sent towards the net by Asher. Looking for the quick deflection here on the near side. She just about had it. She missed the post by about 1, maybe 2 feet, probably not even that, as it was just about a 3-1 Glenelg lead.
That was a nice little pass right there, a nice little free hit to the midfield line for Poolesville. But looks like Glenelg is going to get it back and try to do something here.
But the only problem is Glenelg sends that out of bounds on the near side, as Lutz was trying to play it ahead, but she angled it to the left a little bit too far as it comes out on the near side. So it'll be Poolesville ball as they'll restart. But now a foul call against the Falcons gives it back to Glenelg. So the last goal scored by Danielle Baker, her 17th of the year, puts Glenelg on top for the first time today by the score of 2-1. As Poolesville struck first, just 6.5 minutes in before Glenelg responded with 2 goals themselves to take the lead. Still a lot of time left here in the first half with 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Could be another goal or two the way these two teams are going about it right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As Glenelg has again, this is Morgan Philly, the junior. She'll try to send this one in. Ooh, goes off the leg, off the knee perhaps, of the Poolesville defender. And now this one deflected in front again, and stoppage and a foul called on Glenelg here, I believe, gives the ball to Poolesville. Not sure what the call was there.
Not sure. Sometimes I feel like you just don't know. Sometimes it's just a whistle, and then the other team gets the ball, and you just play on. Can't always tell.
and Poolesville is the beneficiary of the calls. They bring it down the near side here and try to play it further up ahead. Ball goes out of bounds and ruled to be off the Falcons, so Glenelg takes back possession, and they'll send this one up the near side where it's knocked down here by Taylor, who has 2 assists already, and the ball knocked out of bounds there by the Poolesville defender. That was Alexa Raines, the senior defender, knocking it out of bounds on the near side. So Glenelg will restart the play here and be restarted by Molly Milani. As Milani plays one up ahead here along the goal line for Asher. Asher tried to play one towards the center, but Poolesville gets there to cut it off. And a very high pass there came off the stick. I believe that was Kelly Hughes for Poolesville. Played that one very high. Dangerous pass called by the referee. Gives the ball back to Glenelg, as they'll have it over here on the near side corner. This one crossed towards the center, deflected around by a couple players, loose along the goal line, taken by Poolesville, and a foul call on Glenelg gives the ball back to the Falcons, as Poolesville would just look to clear this one out of their own defensive zone, try to get something else going again on offense. Again, Poolesville just 1 shot so far, as Glenelg's really been doing a lot of the offensive control here in this first half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen a lot of opportunities for Glenelg offensively to try and get goals. I mean, they definitely have capitalized on them with 2 goals. But as we said earlier, Poolesville had that one shot on goal, and that one shot on goal went in. So it's just, I guess it's really about whether you look for quality or quantity, I guess. So, and Poolesville looks like they're trying to get something started here, trying to come back from that second goal that was scored by Glenelg. So
they really are, but the Gladiators, not only their offense has been impressive so far this afternoon, but the defense as well. Just possession has been the name of the game so far for the Gladiators. It's like you said, it's not so much Poolesville not having quality opportunities. It's just the fact that Poolesville hasn't had really any opportunities except for the one that they scored on, because Glenelg's just been doing possession. It's been doing all the offensive control and been getting so many possessions and chances for themselves.
Right. And I mean, and then when you have that many offensive chances, you got to take advantage of them. And it looked like Glenelg could have had a little, or they may still have a little bit of an opportunity here.
They
but
do.
Definitely a lot of pressure here from Poolesville. Got to give credit to their defense.
The speed play for Megan Taylor for Glenelg has the 2 assists already. She ran that one down the near side, but as fast as she could, almost beat 2 Poolesville defenders and got the ball herself. But Poolesville has it, but now Glenelg takes it back. A backhander towards the cage. Here goes wide and out of bounds. Went off the side of the cage, but was already out of bounds first. So the ball comes back to Poolesville. Just under 5 minutes left in the first half. A game which Glenelg, again, the 2-time defending Maryland State champions in Class 2A, leads by the score of 2-1. As Taylor has it here for Glenelg. And a foul call that wasn't on Taylor. That was against one of her teammates. I believe that was against Kristen Powers, the senior. Either Powers or Baker was called for the foul. Either way, it came back to Poolesville. But the ball goes out of bounds here at midfield anyhow, so it doesn't matter, as Glenelg has it right back, but then the ball sent too far down the near side, out of bounds along the goal line, so the ball again will come to the Falcons of Poolesville. Again, both these teams just 1 loss so far this year. 14-1 record for Poolesville coming in, 16-1 for Glenelg. For the Gladiators, their 5th straight undefeated Howard County Championship season, as they've been a very good, very consistent squad over the last number of years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it says a lot when you have a team that's just been very constantly good for over a period of time. I mean, that's definitely a credit. I mean, it's a credit to both their coach, who's been coaching for 36 years at Glenelg, and also for the amount of the players that are coming in and the players that are willing to work hard and get to this point and stay consistent.
And you look at the squad for Glenelg, there's not a whole lot of seniors on the team. As I count over the list right now, there's only 9 seniors on a team full of about 20 or 25 kids. So really, even after today, they're going to have a lot of leadership coming back next year. And the majority, actually, you look at all of their major offensive scorers, except for Danielle Baker, who had a goal already earlier. Their top 3 goal scorers, Asher, Taylor, and Philly, are all juniors. 2 of them are juniors. One of them, Megan Taylor, who's got the 20 goals and the 21 assists, is actually just a sophomore. So the bulk of their offensive productivity will be coming back even next year after this game today's done.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, that's key right there. I mean, just to have people, just the same players coming back and, and getting better each year, it's definitely an asset to have, and it's probably one of the reasons why they are the two-time defending 2A champion right now. So
As Glenelg has at the top of the box here. They send this one all the way into the middle. Good ball here, actually. It's knocked down in front by a Poolesville defender, but now the ball comes loose in front for a quick shot, blocked away by the defender. Ball comes loose along the far side. Glenelg has it. They'll try to cross it to the middle, but it goes out of bounds off the side of the goal. As, again, the Poolesville defense holds there. They'll have possession with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half, a game which Glenelg leads over Poolesville by the score of 2-1. Now Poolesville trying to counter here quickly. They send the ball inside the offensive box for the first time actually in quite a while. But again, the defense of Glenelg gets there, and they'll bring this one down the near side as a foul goes against Poolesville, and Glenelg will just wind it up and clear it out of their own defensive box back out to midfield. But now foul on Glenelg gets it back to Poolesville. Ooh, high pass here goes off the body of the Glenelg defender. That was Lutz. Took that one up high, but appears to be okay. As she continues to work the ball, keeps it inbound somehow along the near side, but Poolesville takes it back anyhow. Oh, potential play here for the Falcons as they have it along the goal line. And then
looks like it might be a corner.
we have a corner coming up here now. Good call, Meredith, for Poolesville as the foul went against Glenelg. So we'll see what the Falcons can do here with only their second real offensive chance of the day. Just a minute and a half to go in the first half. They trail 2-1, but a chance perhaps here to try and find the back of the cage as this corner will be taken by Anna Mergia, the sophomore.
I mean, I believe this is their first corner for Poolesville of the game. So I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot from them right now, but looks like see what comes out of it.
It is, and a good ball here played in the middle. All chance in front, and a diving save made by the keeper. Rebound still loose in front, will lead to another corner for Poolesville, but a diving save was made there, and a beautiful one by the junior goalkeeper, Amanda Hoyt. As Poolesville had 2 players in front of the net there with a wide open opportunity, Hoyt just dove to make the save, and she'll gladly take another corner here for Poolesville instead of letting a net goal. As the Falcons have it on the far side, just inside the circle. Glenelg gets there, and the referee points at his knee as he stops the play, so Glenelg's defense holds there. With 40 seconds to go in the first half, they'll still lead 2-1. Now they'll just look to clear it out of their zone, and they will momentarily, but now Poolesville takes it right back. As they'll cross this one towards the center. Falcons trying to get one last little offensive rush, but Glenelg again takes back possession on defense, and they'll clear this one all the way out across midfield. Taylor's on her horse here for the Gladiators. Taylor actually beats one defender to the ball, but can't beat the second one, as Poolesville winds up with possession along the far sideline. But now Taylor is able to get it back as she defeats one of her teammates. 15 seconds left first half. Now the ball comes loose in front. A quick shot here taken, and a save made by the Poolesville keeper, Lamanna. And another chance here for Glenelg on the rebound and nothing doing. But I believe we're going to have a penalty corner here as times run out in the first half. But again, the first half can't end if there's a penalty corner. So Glenelg will have a chance here on the corner as time has expired in the first half. And again, the possession will not end until the ball is officially deemed to be out of the circle of play. So the corner opportunity here for Glenelg, a big chance perhaps to add another insurance goal here early in this first half. But this ball comes all the way out, and Poolesville's defense gets it. They have possession, and that will do it for the first half here this afternoon. A very exciting, fast-paced first half, to say the least.
Definitely.
As Glenelg has the 2-1 lead at halftime. Ivy Meissner, Danielle Bigger with the goals for Glenelg, 2 assists for Megan Taylor, and for Poolesville, Sarah Onderko has the goal, Allie Green has the assist, and really, Meredith, a back-and-forth, offensive-minded first half from both these teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw Poolesville come out strike first, and they got a goal, and then Glenelg came right back, and then they got a goal, and then they also got another one to cement their 2 goals. So I mean, it's been a lot of offense, a lot of just pressure from, I mean, even both teams. When Poolesville got their corners and stuff, I mean, the goalie for Glenelg had to make a diving save to stop that ball. So I mean, it's definitely a testament. Their offense, is very good, and it's been showed in their numbers. And Yeah, I mean, it's definitely should be an interesting second half.
And it is. And we have a 7-minute break now on the field for halftime, so we'll step aside as well. Once again, your score at halftime of the Class 2A Maryland State Field Hockey Championship game. Glenelg leads Poolesville by the score of 2-1 on the MPSSAA network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot at
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And welcome back live to Chestertown, Maryland on the campus of Washington College. We're live at Kibler Field, Roy Curry Jr. Stadium, the site of our 4 Maryland State Field Hockey Championship games this afternoon. We're currently in the middle of our Class 2A title game, which features a 2-1 score in favor of Glenelg over Poolesville. In the first half, Meredith, again, a lot of offensive opportunities for both teams there, back and forth, mostly for Glenelg. When Poolesville had their chances, they were really quality chances, but Glenelg was just pounding the Poolesville defense the whole half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have a team that just keeps pounding and pounding, I mean, it's very hard for, the other team to really get offensive chances, and, it's just difficult overall, and that's, probably why Glenelg has the 2 goals, is just the constant pressure. But like you said, Poolesville, when they did get their chances, they were definitely quality chances. They had one that was a goal, and then they had 2 corners, which almost made another goal. So, it's definitely, when Poolesville gets their chances, they really try to capitalize on them.
Well, the very first shot the Poolesville took, we went out with the goal, and then they didn't have another opportunity, it seemed like, for the next 20 or 25 minutes. It was just one of those halves for Poolesville. Actually, what I learned during the halftime break, this is actually a rematch of last year's title game, which, again, Glenelg won by the score of 3-0 because the Gladiators are the 2-time defending state champions going for that three-peat. And they're off to a good start here this afternoon with a 2-1 lead. And the ball down here in the offensive end. This one dribbled towards the center along the goal line. Pass towards the center in front. And the ball's loose here. Might have been a shot, but Poolesville was able to clear it momentarily. A long shot taken here is blocked down in front by a defender. Ball still loose. A rebound chance again here for Glenelg. Ball comes free on the near side. Another one sent towards the cage. And a rebound and a score. As Glenelg had about 3 or 4 opportunities there, ball in front. They never gave up on the play, and it's now a 3-1 lead for the Gladiators over the Falcons, just a minute and 15 seconds into half number 2. And again, the constant pressure from Glenelg leads to their 3rd goal of the day. They're on a 3-0 run.
Yeah, that's definitely, we're going to keep seeing that. We're going to keep seeing the pressure from Glenelg throughout the rest of this half. In this game, it's just they constantly get pressure, and Poolesville is definitely trying to respond to that pressure, but
So the goal for Glenelg officially being credited to the senior Emily Russo. The assist goes to Danielle Baker, as Baker now has a goal and an assist on the day. It's a 3-1 lead for Glenelg over Poolesville. Again, less than 2 minutes into this second half, and now we have a corner opportunity coming up for the Gladiators as they're looking to add even more insurance here over the Falcons. As they're waiting for the signal to start. As Glenelg will take this one from the far side corner, played towards the middle, knocked down at the very top of the circle. A long shot taken here is blocked away by the Poolesville defender. And, however, it will lead to another corner opportunity here for the Gladiators.
Yeah, it looked like the ref had called a foot foul there, I guess, on Poolesville, but, he has a better angle and a better look than we do. So
when the shot's coming at you like that, it's kind of hard to determine which part of your body you want to block it with.
Yeah,
so.
It's very difficult.
As this one played in front, Glenelg has it. Nice pass here to the far side. A one-timer shot taken, knocked down in front by the defender cleanly this time. Actually, that wasn't cleanly either as the referee signals for another corner, as that one was deflected by Kelly Hughes, but apparently she does it illegally as well, as Glenelg will have their 3rd corner opportunity here in the game's last minute. Again, the Gladiators already with a 3-1 lead now thanks to the goal just 1 minute and 15 seconds into this second half, and they'll have a 3rd straight corner opportunity here. This one played down. A 2-hopper to the far side, controlled by Glenelg. They keep it from going out of bounds. And actually, apparently, they didn't keep it from going out of bounds, as the referee says that it went out off of the Gladiators, so the Falcons will have back possession. As Poolesville again now down by 2 goals, a score of 3-1. Glenelg looking for their 3rd straight championship, and they have a 2-goal advantage. And looking for more here is the ball loose in front, but a foul call, and the Gladiators gives the ball back to Poolesville.
Seen a lot of that, a lot of just constant back and forth pressure, and almost
one,
a little bit of trouble right there.
Yeah, that one was loose in front, came all the way through, had to be kicked away by the Poolesville keeper, Madison LaManna. I don't think she was anticipating to have to make the save on that one, but it got deflected, came all the way through, and she kind of had to stick her right foot out there at the last second and just boot it away back to the near side.
Yeah, definitely didn't look like it was. She thought she was going to need to stop that ball, I guess, because she had a bunch of defenders in front of her. But got to make the save when the ball comes to you. So.
And again, this is the second of 4 games here in Chestertown this afternoon as Poolesville looking for a scoring chance here. They play it towards the middle. but the Glenelg defense gets there, and they clear it back to the top of the defensive box. Now all the way out to midfield. If this one stays in bounds, this could be a chance for Glenelg, and they do keep it in bounds. A nice play made by Baker. As she's able to keep it in, now she'll throw it towards the center, but it's deflected down by Poolesville, as the Falcons will just clear it out of their own defensive box before a whistle on Glenelg gives the ball back to Poolesville. So again, this is the Class 2A game. We have 2 more games today as well. At 4 p.m., it'll be Athelton coming in with a 14-2 record against the undefeated squad of Hereford. That game will be at 4 p.m. Then the nightcapper tonight at 6:30, the Class 4A championship between South River and Catonsville. So 2 more very good games on the schedule after this one is completed this afternoon between Glenelg and Poolesville in the Class 2A championship game, which again Glenelg leads by the score of 3-1 as they're looking for their third straight state championship.
We got a corner here, another corner for Glenelg. Constant. We've seen a bunch of corners here for Glenelg in these past few minutes. So
they're just not letting up. They're not, now they have the 2-goal lead, they're not, trying to play a defense-first philosophy. They're sticking with what's, gotten them the 3-1 lead, and that's been just an offensive attack that Poolesville been trying to handle. But when Glenelg peppers you with that many shots, it's hard to do,
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. But it looks like Poolesville's going to get the ball right back here. So
yeah, that was a nice play made there by the Poolesville defender that I believe was Julia Duncan. She just kind of ran out of the net there pretty quickly out to the top of the circle, took that ball away from Glenelg before they were able to set up on the corner opportunity.
yeah, definitely. That was definitely a really nice play by her. So hopefully, it looks like her team may be able to, looks like they're going to go up the field and see if they can get the ball into the circle.
They tried to then a far side in front of their own bench, but Glenelg there tried to take it away. And then the ball goes out of bounds. They say it went off the Gladiators. So the Falcons of Poolesville have it as they play this one all the way through, but then it goes out of bounds. That ball basically went from sideline to sideline, as it'll be Glenelg ball as they'll clear it out of their own defensive end back to midfield. But first, it's knocked down by the Poolesville defender. That was Hughes, as Hughes plays this one into the center, and it goes wide of the cage and out of bounds. So Glenelg, again, will have the opportunity to clear it out of their own defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, if Glenelg hasn't seen they've seen some pressure here from Poolesville, but definitely, they've definitely been putting more of the offensive pressure on during this game.
Yeah,
so,
this was actually ruled to be off of Glenelg as it went out of bounds on the goal line, so it's a long hit for Poolesville. But now Poolesville turns it right back over anyhow, so Glenelg gets it right back. As they'll try to clear it out of their own defensive box, but Poolesville with some pressure here, going to the ground and making a nice diving play to keep that play alive was the Glenelg defender that was Russo, who just scored the 3rd goal of the day, only a minute 15 into the second half. As we've now played exactly 7 minutes here in half number 2. Again, a 3-1 lead for Glenelg. As this one down the far side, heading for the goal line, kept in bounds by the Gladiators. But Poolesville then comes back, takes the ball. They'll send it down the far sideline, where it goes out of bounds. And again, it'll be the ball for Glenelg. As they'll play this one back inside the offensive box in the center. Nice job by the Gladiators. They keep the play alive, and then it trickles out of bounds. It comes all the way through on the goal line to the far side of the Poolesville keeper, Madison Lamanna. As Poolesville quickly restarts the play out of their own defensive end here, they'll send it back across midfield, but it comes right to Glenelg, as no one from Poolesville was in the general area of where that ball went. So the Falcons take it back now from Glenelg again along the far side. They'll play it in front of their own bench. Ball battled for, kept from going out of bounds, and now will go out, and is ruled to be out off of Poolesville. So again, Glenelg will restart the play from their own defensive end. Oh, this ball goes high in the air across midfield. Kind of a high arcing clear there made by the Gladiators defense, but Poolesville has it. And again, they'll attempt to bring it up the field, but a foul call here against Glenelg gives it back to Poolesville.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think we've seen a bunch of those high balls during the game from Glenelg, and I mean, it's a nice thing to do if you can do it. Sometimes it's a little difficult because you don't know if the ref's going to call, because sometimes the refs do call a high ball on those passes, but usually that's only if there's some people surrounding that area. So it's just more of a safety thing. That's why they would call against it. So.
And a foul here against Glenelg out near midfield gives it to Poolesville. But again, it seems like Glenelg has been trying to utilize that high ball more than a lot of normal field hockey teams do here. And to some degree today it's worked, but to some degree it hasn't either. They've been called for a few fouls while doing that as well.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
They have a chance here as they're coming back 2-on-2, now 2-on-1. Oh, this ball, good ball up ahead. A breakaway chance here for Glenelg. A shot goes wide and out of bounds off the side of the cage, off the stick of Baker. She was looking for her second goal of the day. A nice feed in front there from her teammate. Not sure who that was, but Baker had it on her stick with a chance to really put this one out of reach. Would have been a 4-1 lead, but she sent it just wide to the left-hand side of the post and out of bounds. So Poolesville would just get a chance to clear it out of their own defensive end instead, which they will, except for the fact that they sent it out of bounds at midfield.
It's going to give Glenelg another chance here to try and get it back into the circle.
As Poolesville has it. And then a foul call on Poolesville gives it back to Glenelg. As they play this one all the way up into the offensive box. A good ball here as Taylor has it on her stick. Taylor tries to split two defenders, does so, and a weak shot and a score! A beautiful play there by Glenelg. Again, this one, as we mentioned, on the near side here, the play started all the way back at midfield with just a long ball sent up ahead, was deflected in front by Taylor, who already has 2 assists today, and then she just split 2 defenders there, puts the ball in the back of the cage, and it's a 4-1 lead for Glenelg with still 20 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the second half. 4 unanswered goals so far here by the Gladiators.
Yeah, it looks like there might have been a little bit of a foul here because it looks like the ref had given the ball back to Glenelg to start it for some reason. So it looks like Glenelg's going to try and take advantage of that opportunity again. So.
But again, there, Meredith, just a beautiful play in front there by Taylor. All started back here on the near side at midfield with the long pass up ahead. And then Taylor was just able to split those 2 defenders and find it and put the ball right in the back of the cage.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful play. And they may get another opportunity here to try to put the ball in the back of the cage, too.
Oh, they will as this one comes to the middle, and it's deflected in front. And the referee calls a penalty corner here as it's deflected around too aggressively by one of the Poolesville defenders. So Glenelg will have the ball on a corner opportunity. Already a 4-1 lead and looking for more here with about 19 and a half minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, it's definitely seeing constant pressure here from Glenelg. Definitely their offensive end is definitely giving a good amount of pressure here.
More so of a continuation from the first half where, the Gladiators were just all over the offensive end. Poolesville had a couple chances, but Glenelg really had most of the chances. And same thing here so far in the second half. They scored 2 goals in the first half, Glenelg did. They've already scored 2 here in the first 11 minutes of half number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely just a credit to the Glenelg, just their offense in general. I mean, they have a great offensive line, and I think we discussed earlier in the half that a lot of them are actually they're not seniors. There's only one, Danielle Baker, who scored a bunch of goals for Glenelg. So I mean, they're gonna have a lot of players coming back next year just to keep this going. So I mean, this is a great thing for Glenelg. Just that offense.
And this is a Glenelg team that's scored, again, we mentioned, a lot of goals this year. They had a 3-game stretch in the middle of the season where they played Centennial, Hammond, and Oakland Mills and outscored their 3 opponents in those games by the combined score of 36-0 over the span of those 3 games earlier in the year. So they're really just the offensive weapons on Glenelg goes all around. And that's shown here so far today. Taylor, 1 goal and 2 assists, bringing her totals now to 21 goals and 21 assists for the season. And Baker with a goal and assist as well, now 17 goals, 13 assists for the year. As this Glenelg team just continues to pepper the Poolesville defense with shots. But Poolesville looking for a chance here as the ball comes to the center. But then they're called for some sort of offensive violation, gives the ball right back to the Gladiators of Glenelg.
Yeah, and then we got another Glenelg player going down to the ground just trying to stop the ball. And it's going to be given back to Poolesville. So hopefully Poolesville will be able to take the ball up, and looks like they may be able to take the ball up the field a little bit here and put some pressure on.
And they will as they dribble it down the far side, but then a little whiff on a shot or pass attempt by Poolesville gives the ball right back to Glenelg. But then this one comes too far, will go out of bounds on the near side as it couldn't be cleanly handled by Baker. And Meredith, I guess really here for Poolesville, you're down 4-1. There's 17 minutes left. Is there anything differently that they can really do from what they're doing already just to try to get more offensive pressure on Glenelg? It really just seems so far that, Glenelg's just been the better team.
When we have seen when we have seen Poolesville be in situations where they can they have the potential to score a goal. I mean, we have seen them really try to capitalize on that. I think it's just that they just haven't had that many opportunities. And, Glenelg, I think, definitely they've been putting pressure on the whole entire game offensively. And, I don't know if there's anything that Poolesville can actually really do differently to maybe get more chances on goal. I think it's just one of those things that they're kind of going to get like a breakaway or something, or just some kind of momentum. I don't think there's really anything differently that they can do.
And Glenelg just seems to be, we talk about their offense, but their defense has been really smothering so far today as well, not allowing Poolesville to get any of those chances. And like we mentioned, the chances Poolesville has gotten have been really quality chances, but they haven't had a lot of that due to the defense of the Gladiators so far today.
Yeah, it's very, very true. We always talk about the offenses, the offense and the lots of goals that they scored and everything, but you can't really have a team without a defense. You definitely need the defenders, and you got to give credit to the defense.
Glenelg's got a chance here as they got a player wide open in the center. If the ball can be fed there, and it almost was, but then the goalkeeper for Poolesville, that was Lamanna, just comes out of her cage and boots it to the far side, doesn't allow that crossing pass opportunity to occur. As we have a whistle now along the far side, and the ball is going to stay with Glenelg from over along the far sideline. As Glenelg plays this one back to the top of their own offensive box on the far side. But now Poolesville's defense gets there, cuts it off. Now they'll try to get something going with it down the far side here. And, taken right back again by Glenelg. As the Gladiators will just wind up, send this one towards the middle, but Poolesville's defense is there. And now they'll send one out to the far side where Glenelg again is able to take possession. This ball goes high up in the air, not really by design. It just deflected off a couple sticks. Glenelg gets it back. Ball played to the middle, loose in front, and a corner coming up here for the Gladiators as Poolesville's defense was a little bit too aggressive there. And this will lead to the corner opportunity for the Gladiators.
I mean, I know we've seen a lot of corners this game from Glenelg. So I mean, I think their corners kind of just actually get them started. I don't know if there were any that actually scored goals on corners. There may have been one, maybe, but usually that's the kick start of them scoring a goal, and that usually gets them into the you just get a goal, I guess. So, and that was a very interesting play right there. It looked like the player in the middle was going to take a swing at it, but it actually passed her and went back to the player behind her. So
it almost looked like that was by design. The player in the middle lets the ball go out to the player on the far side because she was so wide open. That player on the far side was the senior Mary Beth Blonchek, who then wound up to take the shot, wound up missing it as the ball came free along the far side. Poolesville got it back, but now Glenelg has it again inside their own offensive box. As this one played into the center, comes through a couple defenders. Glenelg there with it in front. Ball loose and cleared out on the near side, just out of reach of the Glenelg offensive players. Now this one played back in towards the center, deflected in front. A nice pass to the far side, but Poolesville gets there. A rebound chance in front is kicked away by Lamanna, and a third chance is sent back out towards the top of the shooting circle. And again, just the offensive pressure there by Glenelg, not allowing the Poolesville defense to take a breather. And again there, Lamanna had to stand strong in between the pipes for Poolesville. And if it wasn't for her, Meredith, really, this game would be much worse than it is than just 4-1.
definitely, Lamanna has definitely made a lot of really nice saves during the course of this game, and she's definitely been able to keep her team in this game. Her effort has been outstanding.
And this ball at the top of the defensive box, foul called on Glenelg, gives it to Poolesville. As they'll try to clear up the field, get something going here. 13 minutes to go. They trail this one by the score of 4-1. As this one on the far sideline now goes out of bounds in front of the Poolesville bench. I believe, though, it was tipped by Glenelg, so the Falcons should still have possession, and they will. As they'll play this one down to the center of their own offensive end, but again, the Glenelg defense gets there to cut it off. Now taken back again by Poolesville along the far sideline. As Glenelg trying to clear it out of their own defensive end now, and it goes out of bounds, and it's ruled to be out off of the Falcons. So Glenelg will have possession here. And they'll just wind up and clear this one out as it comes all the way out now. Bounces a couple times. It gets across midfield. And now down the far sideline here, one of the Glenelg players is flying. I believe that's Taylor. And then she almost got it through the last line of defense. Now the ball ruled to go off the knees of one of the Poolesville defenders. So the ball comes back to Glenelg anyhow. As they'll bring this one to the center. And ball deflected momentarily here by the Falcons. Now they'll take back possession. And they'll just try to clear this one up the far side. And really, Meredith, for Poolesville, they haven't had a whole lot of offensive chances because they've been playing so much time on defense, just trying to keep the ball away from Glenelg so they can't get all of their offensive opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, constantly talking about the offense, and speaking of the offense, Glenelg is going to get a corner right here. So I mean, Poolesville definitely has not had as many offensive opportunities, but when when Glenelg is constantly giving pressure, they don't have any choice but to go on the defense.
And Glenelg again will have another offensive opportunity here on the penalty corner. Will be taken from the far side. 11.5 minutes left in this one, a 4-1 lead. This one played to the center, deflected. Now a chance here. A shot is taken, and a redirect goes wide and out of bounds as Glenelg was on the goal line there trying to redirect that one into the back of the cage, but they couldn't quite do it. As it's out on the goal line, it'll be Poolesville possession in their own defensive end. They'll have a substitution here for Glenelg as they'll have a player check in here with about 11 minutes to go. And it's 4-1 as Poolesville sends this ball out of bounds. It'll be possession again here for Glenelg. As Kristen Powers, the senior, will restart the play here on the near side. As Glenelg again back in that offensive zone. Poolesville just can't seem to be playing any offense here in the second half. And even in the first half, they had a couple of chances, but here in the second half, it seems like they haven't had one single offensive chance.
Yeah, it definitely does not seem like they really have had any, really big, momentous, pushes of offense. They really have been playing on the defense the majority of the time, and it's really hard to get any offensive momentum going if you're playing defense all the time. So.
And then we have a call here in front. Looks like it's a foul. Actually, looks like it's going to be another penalty corner for Glenelg as Poolesville again called for the violation. So another corner here for the Gladiators. And we'll see if Glenelg can capitalize. Already ahead 4-1, looking for their third straight state championship. This one in the center. Played back out to the far side. A little bit of space. Shot taken here. Deflected in front by the defender. And played out to the near side. But now another whistle. And another penalty corner. Stop me if I sound like a broken record, but that's just how it is right now. Another corner here for Glenelg.
Yeah, I mean, Glenelg just they just want to keep the pressure going. We have just under 10 minutes here left in this game. So, I mean, they're just trying right now. I think they're just trying to kill the clock. I mean, they're just trying to get, if they can get another goal, great. But if not, they're just trying to kill the clock.
And this one in front, a shot taken, saved by Lamanna. Rebound loose in front on the near side here. Now it comes back to the center. Another redirect, another save by Lamanna. A third chance here to score. On the third chance opportunity off the corner, Glenelg was able to capitalize. They get their fifth goal of the day. 5 unanswered goals now for the Gladiators, and it's a 5-1 Glenelg lead here over Poolesville. And Meredith, that might be about all she wrote here with just 9 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, with this 5 goals, I mean, that's a lot of goals in field hockey, and even, there are about 9 minutes left, but, at this point it's kind of like, well, if Poolesville's trying to get something, trying to get an opportunity, or even just to get maybe one goal. I mean, even just one goal is, that would even be, really good. So, they're just trying to prevent Glenelg from really scoring another goal, I think.
Yeah, that's about all they've been able to do so far. The defensive pressure as a Poolesville player tripped to the ground here. But no call was made as it goes out of bounds off of Poolesville. It'll be Glenelg ball for the Gladiators of Glenelg. The goal credited to the senior, Tagny Vandewall. The assist going to Danielle Baker, the senior, her second assist of the day, as Baker and Megan Taylor each now have a goal and 2 assists on the day for Glenelg. As again, they now lead 5-1 with just 8.5 minutes left, looking for their third straight state championship. And Meredith, it looks like they're well on their way to doing so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with 5 goals, and about a little less than 8.5 minutes left, I mean, that's a pretty. Can't ever be 100% sure of anything until the game is actually over, but I mean, that's some pretty good insurance right there. So, I mean, as long as they keep doing what they're doing, I mean, they have a very nice shot of being a 3-time state championship.
We'll see if Poolesville can get something going here. They have the ball in their own offensive end inside of the Glenelg defensive zone. Another ball taken away again by the Gladiators, played back out towards midfield. As this one along the top of the box, played again by Glenelg. They keep it away from Poolesville, trying to send this one across midfield, and a whistle and a violation call on called against Glenelg. So Poolesville will actually go back on offense here, just across the midfield line. They'll try to work it back inside of the Glenelg defensive end, and this one goes out of bounds, but I believe it was deflected by Glenelg, so Poolesville will keep possession. Along the far side, splitting 2 defenders here. And a long wind-up pass towards the center, deflected in front by a couple players. Glenelg keeps it from going out of bounds. Poolesville plays this one back towards the center. And we got a whistle here. And it looks like a violation against Poolesville. Gives the ball to Glenelg. And they'll clear it out of their own defensive end, or they'll attempt to. Anyhow, again, this one's set high up in the air by Glenelg. And again, we see it again, the Gladiators using that high arcing ball to their advantage as they're able to get it cleared back out across midfield. And now the ball goes out of bounds off of Poolesville as Glenelg has it.
Yeah, I mean, the high pass, I mean, Glenelg really is utilizing this. They've been utilizing it throughout the whole entire game. You know, and it works for them. It gets the ball up the field, and it's a way of avoiding a bunch of Poolesville defenders. So, I mean, it's a great thing they have. It's a great skill.
6.5 minutes to go here, second half. Glenelg leads Poolesville by the score of 5-1 as they're trying to salt this one away and get out of here with their third straight Maryland State Class 2A championship. Looks like they're about 6 minutes away from doing so as this one goes out of bounds off of Poolesville. Ball back to Glenelg again as they'll restart the action at midfield. And then the ball goes immediately out of bounds as Glenelg just kind of sends it out. It'll be Poolesville possession from near the midfield stripe. Another good crowd on hand here for the second game between these two teams. Our third game coming up, scheduled to start this afternoon at 4 p.m. That'll be the Class 3A championship between Atholton and Hereford. Should be another good game. Atholton 14-2. Hereford undefeated so far this season, 17-0, and looking for the state championship in that Class 3A game. Comes your way later today as Glenelg with it here. This one played towards the center. Poolesville gets it, though, inside of their own defensive end. They'll clear this one out towards the far side as Glenelg chasing after, but Poolesville still has possession. Ball here is on the stick of Jocelyn Bodmer, the senior. This one cleared all the way across midfield. Here comes Poolesville now on the offensive attack, trying to get something going here as they'll bring it inside the offensive box on the far side. But again, Glenelg's defense gets there first and takes it away and then sends it out of bounds. And, it's actually ruled to have gone off of Poolesville. So the ball comes back to Glenelg. So good play made there by the Glenelg defender to get to go out off of a Poolesville defender. But now Poolesville takes back possession anyhow as they have the ball along the far side. This one tried to be crossed towards the middle. It's deflected in front by the Glenelg defender and sent out of bounds in front of the Poolesville bench. But again, ruled to have gone off of Poolesville as Glenelg just doing what they need to do here, killing time off that clock. Down to now just 4.5 minutes to go in regulation.
Yeah, you know, they've been doing a really good job of that. Glenelg just trying to kill time, just trying to keep, Poolesville from really giving them any shot opportunity.
As this one on the far side, Glenelg again in their own defensive zone. They'll clear it to the top of the box as Poolesville gives chase. And again, these two teams met in the state final last year, 2011. Glenelg won that game by the score of 3-1. Poolesville struck first here this afternoon to get the 1-0 lead. Glenelg scored all 5 goals since. And this ball on the near side, a diving save made by the junior Amanda Hoyt. As Poolesville had the chance there, but again, Hoyt dove to her right, protects the post on the near-hand side, keeps it from going in. It'll be a penalty corner, though, for Poolesville. But again, a great play made there by Hoyt to keep that one from going in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is I believe, the fourth corner Poolesville has gotten this entire game. So, I mean, we'll see what they can do with it given this opportunity.
This one played in towards the center. Poolesville has it. Back to the near side, just outside the shooting circle. This one passed in towards the middle, and Poolesville was looking for the redirect, but no one was able to get a stick on as the Falcons had 2 players in front there. Neither one of them was able to get the deflection. As it goes out of bounds, it'll be Glenelg ball in their own defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a really great opportunity for Poolesville right there. You know, that was a corner. It was our fourth corner of the game, and it was a very nice opportunity. It was a really nice shot sent into the goal, but unfortunately nobody could get their stick on it to fully get the goal.
As Glenelg can sort of taste this one out, up by 4 goals, 5-1, just 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in regulation. That's all that separates them from their third straight state championship. But this one's stolen by Poolesville as the Falcons trying to get another goal on the board here, but then it's taken back again by the Glenelg defense. Now Poolesville again has it, sends it towards the goal, but taken by the Glenelg defender and just cleared out of bounds in front of the Poolesville bench. The Falcons will still have possession down 5-1. This one crossed. Now played back to the corner on the far side. Comes along the goal line. Played towards the center, but deflected there by a Glenelg defender and cleared all the way out to the top of the box where it's taken by Poolesville. But now Poolesville again loses it as Glenelg takes back the offensive possession one more time as the clock ticks down now. 2 minutes to go. A 5-1 lead for Glenelg in the Class 2A championship game. And a Glenelg defender goes to the ground here. And a foul call made against Poolesville. Actually, it was against Glenelg. Gives the ball to Poolesville. And this ball played all the way back into the defensive end. Now we have a stoppage of play and a foul against Poolesville. Gives it right back to Glenelg. So these teams sort of trading possessions here in the last minute and a half.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it is up in the Glenelg defensive end, so maybe Poolesville can get something going here. You know, they have a lot of, they do have an opportunity. It isn't in their half, it's in Glenelg's half. So let's see if they can do anything in this last minute and 15 seconds.
And Glenelg, the two-time defending state champions, they won in 2010 by the score of 2-1, and then defeated the same Poolesville squad a season ago by the score of 3-0. They lead here 5-1 as the clock ticks down to 1 minute left in regulation, and as Glenelg just 60 seconds away from their third straight Maryland State Class 2A championship. I keep wanting to say Class A for some reason. It's 2A. There's a number in front of that letter. I know there is, as Glenelg has it here on the near side as they play it back in to the offensive box, heading towards the goal line, goes out of bounds. It'll be Poolesville ball as no one from the defense of the Falcons touched it. Again, the crowd for Glenelg starting to clap a little bit here. 30 seconds left. Just 30 seconds separates them from their third straight state title. As this one played by Poolesville back across midfield. Glenelg now takes it back again on the defensive end, and they'll send this one out of bounds on the near side. It'll be Poolesville possession. With just 15 seconds to go, the last few seconds will tick off the clock here, and then the celebration will begin for Glenelg, their third straight state championship on the Class 2A level, as this one's taken back by Glenelg. Now Poolesville has it, just 5 seconds left as the clock continues to tick out, and that is it for the Class 2A championship game. It has gone final as Glenelg takes home their third straight state championship on the Class 2A level by the final score of 5-1 over Poolesville, as Glenelg defeats Poolesville in the title game for the second year in a row. Again, Poolesville got the first goal of the day. They got it started 6.5 minutes in as Sarah Underko found the back of the cage. But then after that, the last 5 goals scored by Glenelg, 2 in the first half, 3 in the second half, as they defeat Poolesville by the score of 5-1. And really, Meredith, this was all about Glenelg's offensive ability here this afternoon.
Oh, definitely. There was just constant pressure. Glenelg never, ever let up in this game, neither in the first half, neither in the second half. They just kept putting the pressure on, and you know, when you keep putting the pressure on, you don't give the other team a lot of offensive opportunities. You know, it's gonna come and it'll be a benefit to you.
And it was, and again, Glenelg from the beginning just never let up. Put 5 goals on the board en route to their 5-1 victory over Poolesville and their third straight Class 2A Maryland State Championship. We want to thank all of you at home for watching and listening. For my broadcast partner, Meredith Katona, this is Connor Flegel saying so long from Chestertown, Maryland, where once again your final score of the Class 2A Maryland State Field Hockey Championship, Glenelg 5 and Poolesville 1 on the MPSSAA network. Deep breath. Do you have any bottles of water down there, Gabby? I'll take one of those, please. Other than that, I think we're good. Thank you. Thank you. Phew. Halfway. Good Lord Almighty. 2 down, 2 to go. Yeah, and then once Glenelg decided to, you know. They were like, all right, we're done playing now. 2:48. Still have over an hour.
Yeah, the first half of the next game might be a little troublesome for the Sun, but then about second half.
By 5 o'clock, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
The Sun's been saying we're about 5 o'clock lately.
Yeah. That sun is a booger.
Well, I kind of